Good morning everybody, and a happy new year to you. We're just out in the countryside in a little coppice. Sun splitting the trees literally in this ancient wood, and enjoying a bit of fresh air and exercise. And this is going to run for about 5-10 minutes, probably gas on to even longer than 10 minutes. But if you don't want to hear my opinion, that's fine, just turn the volume down. I'm sure you'll enjoy the walk through the woods. So there's something been munching my butt, and basically I need to get it off my chest. And that is, we've been fed loads and loads and loads of news about a certain person, and that certain person, I'm pretty sure, is loving the attention because he is basically an attention seeker. Probably has some hand in getting that attention himself. But I'll mention two words: Andrew Tate. Now, if you don't know who Andrew Tate is, thank you lucky stars that you haven't been drowned in footage and shorts and clips, Facebook and everything else, YouTube. But basically, he got arrested the other day. Now, apparently I've watched a few videos of his, not particularly a fan of his, too opinionated, too contrived for me. But basically the other day, maybe a week ago, he had a Twitter spat, which I don't do Twitter, so I wouldn't have seen it through that, but I keep getting it through the news as well. So they've set the ground and they've laid him up, and they know he's, it's basically a story has begun and it's been set on its way. So this guy's a multi-millionaire, got loads and loads of cars, which he said to Greta Thunberg, I've got 30 cars, blah blah blah. You know, probably arguing the difference over eco-friendly stuff with Greta. Greta got fed up with him, called him a little dick wannabe or something of that nature, which he probably is, you know, small dick syndrome and all that lot. So basically, a few days later, I seen a post, a dead quick post in Romanian, and then it come out and out and out, and loads more in English, and the story evolved again. But the first post I seen was the equivalent of the Romanian SAS doing a raid on his house. Well, I don't know about a raid, but they look like SWAT team, you know, armed police running to his house covertly, big door smasher in their hands. This is the sort of approach teams have, or armed police have, for raiding a home of somebody who's famed for being violent and being like drug smugglers or gun dealers or stuff like that, which in that case they would have used the door smasher, smashed the door in and charged in his house, arrested everybody there. These guys went up to the door and knocked it. Morning. Yeah, these guys went up to the door and knocked the door. Just have a look through here. They didn't smash the door down. They didn't scream armed police. They didn't go in all guns blazing or anything like that. They knocked the door and the door was opened. He was subsequently arrested with basically 4 other people, and charged with people trafficking, sex trafficking and rape. Now, this guy is, I don't know, Hannity famous. His face is everywhere, so there's no way this guy can afford to do anything wrong, because he's such an obnoxious shit. Every woman seems to hate him, or all these woke people, whatever, seem to hate him. Now, he seems to have a lot of sway with a lot of people, or so he says. But he's been the report said that he'd been investigated from April last year, and that's over 8 months. So after 3 days they couldn't charge him or get what they wanted out of him. So then apparently they've applied for 30 days extension to his being detained, and what's that down there? Anyway, 30 days to him being detained, extension to his detention, and so they can investigate him more. Well, my idea is, if you've got a high stakes celebrity millionaire person and you've surveyed him and investigated him for 8 months, why the hell do you need another 3 or another month to detain him for, so you can question him, so you can prove what you think he's done? My guess is going to have a high stakes lawyer to get him out on bail within the next week. If he doesn't, he's not got as much money as he says he has, or he hasn't got as much clout as he says he has. So it's lovely, this wood, isn't it? Yeah, so what's going on? Is it a game? Is it a distraction from something that's gone on, that the MSN are biting at the bit to report, and they're not reporting the important news? They're giving you little snippets, you know, when they're hiding secrets and information before things happen. I think that's possibly it. Because he's got so much money and such a opinionated person, I don't think this is going to rest there. I think he's going to come out. He said when he was being arrested, "This is the Matrix, come to get me." Well, he'd referred to that in an interview before, where he said he'd be closed down, he'd be arrested, and he'd be murdered. Well, is he going to be Epstein hung? I don't know. Very interesting. I'm going to take another way. There's people up that way. So watch this space. I think this could be very, very interesting. But before I leave, I've got to give you my opinion. And my opinion that Andrew Tate is so up his own arse. He's so obnoxious. He can't be a real person. All his family say that he's a lovely guy, but when he's online and that, he's so obnoxious and so full of bravado. I think basically Andrew Tate is a character and not the person that he actually is. Just like all these other celebrities, the Kardashians, the Real Housewife of New York and Texas and God knows what else, there's nothing further from being real. They're all fake as F. So keep your eye on Andrew Tate. It could be very entertaining. And if it turns out to be a pile of hogwash because somebody's murdering people in Kiev and nobody wants you to notice it, murdering by dropping bombs on them on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, that's not war, that's murder, killing innocent civilians. So maybe you heard it here first from me. Andrew Tate arrest is a distraction from what really is happening, and the MSN mainstream media are covering it up deliberately. I'm going to enjoy this walk now instead of waffling on and saying my piece. One thing, if he really is that person that he portrays on his blogs and that lot, my phrase, giving an idiot enough a rope and he'll hang himself, you should just let him do that. Once everybody sees you being an idiot, everybody turns their back on you. So let him kill himself, and let him not kill himself, but let him kill his career by being an arsehole and everybody seeing him for what he really is, if he really is that. Or if he's just a celebrity, being a celebrity and selling his opinionated views, which aren't real. Just creating stories for the sake of it, and everybody else is buying into it. Well, that's me done. Happy 2023, Happy New Year, and stay safe and happy camping. Bye for now.